The reason this response is so fucking powerful is because at its core, it is a mirror. This comment came up on an old video where my ex told me that having my phone on vibrate and not answering his calls right away made him feel insecure because of his past experiences. So on the surface, he's sharing his emotions, but underneath that were expectations for me to change my behavior so he didn't have those feelings of insecurity. In other words, he was emotionally outsourcing. Now, I understand this very deeply because there was a time where that was me as well. I would think that I was communicating my needs, but what I was really doing was not being able to hold my own emotions, my own insecurity. So I expected somebody else to manage it for me. I told myself that I was being vulnerable and I was sharing, but deep down, yes, I wanted them to change their behavior so I didn't have to experience those feelings. Now, it took me a very long time, but eventually I accepted that my feelings are my responsibility. Despite every single story that my ego told me about why other people are responsible, I had to learn to sit with them first. Only then would I be able to make decisions that actually honored how I felt. That is why this question is so fucking potent, because it is a mirror. It forces the person receiving it to take responsibility for their own emotions. It doesn't tell anybody what to do. It simply reflects the choice and the power back to them. Here's where it gets really interesting. The first time a mirror like this was held up to me, naturally my ego wanted to protect myself. I felt validated. I felt the person responsible isn't being held accountable. I thought it was unfair. And all of these reactions were valid, but they were also functioning as ego defense mechanisms. It kept me looking outside of myself instead of inward. The other path would be to notice the mirror. I started asking myself, where am I outsourcing? Where am I expecting other people to manage my feelings? Where do I give my power away? From my experience, when I started noticing these defense mechanisms without collapsing into them, that's when I reclaimed my power. I stopped outsourcing my emotional responsibility. I stopped trying to control other people with my triggers. I instead allowed myself to meet myself fully. That's when I experienced real growth and real freedom in all of my relationships.